Hello and welcome to this week's episode of CBTV. Last night in the Senate, I spoke about a recent report by the United States Committee on Intelligence, which dealt with the national security issues posed by Chinese telecommunications companies, including one named Huawei. First up, it's important to note that Australia welcomes Huawei and Chinese investment into our country. However, we cannot cast aside the serious concerns voiced by the United States and other countries about Huawei. In the UK, they've attempted to address security issues by assessing Huawei's equipment before it enters UK infrastructure, and also by limiting the company's access to that infrastructure. In Canada, they've established a national security exception that could result in Huawei not being allowed to supply equipment to Canada's telecommunications networks. And our own government has excluded the company from being involved in the NBN, based on national security concerns raised by our own intelligence organisation. After its 11-month investigation into Huawei, the US Intelligence Committee recommended that government systems should not include Huawei equipment because the company could not be trusted to be free of foreign state influence, which posed a security threat to the United States. The committee found that Huawei didn't fully cooperate with the investigation. It also found that the company was not willing to explain their links with the Chinese government or the Chinese Communist Party, and that it failed to answer key questions or provide evidence for its claims to be financially independent of the Chinese government. In its dealings with the US and Australia, Huawei has proposed the creation of a cyber security evaluation centre. But this idea was rejected by the US committee, which stated that such programs could create, and I quote, a false sense of security and are less useful than one might expect. Huawei's presence in Australia is welcome, but at the same time our government and industry should be aware of the concerns raised by other countries, the concerns also raised by our own intelligence organisation and the US Intelligence Committee, in order that we ensure that our national interest is fully protected. This is Cory Bernardi. You're watching CBTV.